So you can see a drop in our temperatures as we get closer to sunrise, and we're going to hold mainly in the mid-teens throughout the entire day today. But at least we're going to have some sunshine. That's the one positive side here with the forecast. Unfortunately, though, we are going to have cold temperatures. Not only that, still some breezy conditions. So winds are out of the northwest. Again, that's why when it was 14 degrees in Wisconsin Dells saying that air's coming our way, well, that's where the wind is coming from. So expect our temperatures to drop. Right now, our sustained winds are about 10 to 15 miles per hour. We are still looking at some gusts up to about 35 miles per hour. So as our temperatures fall into the mid-teens today, when you factor in the winds, it's going to feel more like about 0 degrees throughout the entire day today. So it's going to be one of those days where, again, you sit inside and you look at all the sunshine. Once you step outside, though, it's brutally cold. We saw the freezing drizzle as this storm system developed. Again, it really got its act together just to the east of us, and now it's going to impact the northeast. For us, we did see again some drizzle and also freezing drizzle down through Chicago. They had a lot more accidents, a lot more of that steadier drizzle throughout the day yesterday. Today, though, we're seeing clearing skies, and we'll actually see continuing clearing skies over the next few hours as our temperatures drop. Again, sunny skies throughout the afternoon until the sun sets, which is at about 4:30 today. And then we'll move into tonight, looking at a couple of clouds pushing in, maybe even some light snow coming our way, but not expecting widespread or big concerns as you head into your Monday morning commute. Monday, going to be cold. 3 to start off the day, 15 in the afternoon, 0 to start off Tuesday, but temperatures climb into the mid-20s. We are going to keep it windy over the next couple of days. So I want you to take a look at the next 4 days and those temperatures. Subtract about 10 from each of those numbers, and that's really going to be how it's going to feel when you factor in the winds. Ryan.
All right, Marissa, thank you. Now to our series, Two Americas, looking to expose problems in the community you may not realize exist and highlight the ways our neighbors are working to find solutions. I visited a shooting range in Mequon to learn how they are working to help veterans working through a mental health crisis.
Along this rural road in Mequon sits Bear Arms Boutique Shooting Range. It offers everything you'll need if you're someone who loves a hobby or sport that involves the use of guns. An active shooting range and a full shop for customers to take advantage of. But the services here go beyond just shooting and shopping. Here, education and safety are also a priority, which is why owner Cheryl Rebels got involved in a new program that works to protect veterans.
It could save a life or more and buy time for free services and to address whatever's going on.
The Safe Gun Storage Program offers veterans statewide an opportunity to drop off their guns when they're going through a mental health crisis.
At any time, no questions asked, they can come to our range, Bear Arms, and they can store their firearm or arms, more than one, up to 90 days, and then we will return it to them after 90 days.
Bear Arms is one of several businesses in our area that participate in the program. For $5 a month, you can lock up your firearms in this safe. They do it for free, but Rebels says veterans don't want anything for free. It's a matter of pride. It's that attention to detail that helps veterans feel confident in this gun range.
They trust us. It's a trust relationship.
Talk to me about that trust. How important is that trust in a situation like this?
Well, veterans and the research that they did trust retail stores more than they trust the government. They fear the government will confiscate and never return. Gun ranges, they know the relationships here. We're one of them. We are users, recreation, self-defense, that we are going to return it to them, plus they have documentation, and we cannot keep it. It is against the law.
The program is critical. Back in October, I spoke with Dr. Bert Berger with the Milwaukee Zablocki VA Hospital. He told me 70% of veterans who die by suicide use firearms, compared to 50% of non-veterans.
Veterans tend to have firearms. They know how to shoot guns. They're trained to use them. They love their guns. One thing we're really looking at is how can we get the message out to veterans? If you're in a crisis, put the gun away. Put it somewhere else. You can live another day if you can just put that gun in a different spot.
A space designed for hobby and recreation, intersecting with a program designed to help save and heal our local veterans. And civilians are invited to take advantage too.
And if you visit this story on our website, there's actually a spot where you can learn more about some of the other shops across our area that are participating in this program. And we have done some deep dives into several other issues through our Two Americas series. If you scan this QR code on your screen with your smartphone camera, you'll be directed to a page where you can watch some more of those stories. Coming up on TMJ4 News today, we continue our countdown to the Olympics. We'll introduce you to an Arrowhead High School student who is hoping to land a spot on Team USA. Next. Well, today is the final day of speed skating trials at the Pettit Center for this year's Olympic Games. The youngest athlete competing tonight is a 16-year-old Heartland native. Piper Reid is a student at Arrowhead High School. She's been skating at the Pettit Center since she was a child, and now she's competing as a speed skater there with a shot of possibly landing a spot on Team USA. Aside from the competition, this teen is grateful she's able to live out her dream.
It's always been something that I've wanted to do since like 5 years old. I was telling my kindergarten teacher, you'll see me in the Olympics one day. I think just for the experience and gaining the confidence of competing at a high level is just good for being only 16.
Incredible talent. Piper will participate in the mass start race tonight, where up to 24 skaters face off against one another at the same time. And this will only be the second Winter Games to feature this kind of race. Have you heard about this? The Pettit Center is not just attracting Olympic hopefuls, but Olympic protesters as well. People drove to the rink from Minneapolis and Chicago to call for a boycott of the Games in Beijing. They say the Chinese government is guilty of oppression and genocide.
As many people may know, they are currently committing a genocide against millions of Uyghurs in forced labor camps. They are also committing a genocide of Tibetans inside of Tibet and repressing freedom of speech and other democracies in Hong Kong.
And the U.S. became the first country to impose a diplomatic boycott, announcing 2 months before the Winter Games that it will not send any officials to Beijing. Coming up on TMJ4 News today, new details into our newsroom overnight about the impacts of COVID on Milwaukee's homeless population. The tough decision one local warming shelter has to make as extreme cold moves into our area. Now at 6, businesses nationwide are slashing hours due to the spread of COVID. How much worse the so-called Great National Sickout is expected to get in the coming days. Plus, a local warming shelter closing for the rest of the season as extreme cold moves into our area. The COVID concerns that are forcing this change.
And yes, cold temperatures are going to return today. We're also looking at the likelihood of some black ice on the roadways, including here in the Sherman Phoenix neighborhood. I'll have a closer look at what you can expect coming up.
All the information you need to start your morning. This is TMJ4 News Today.
Good morning. You're watching TMJ4 News Today. I'm Ryan Jenkins, and if you are just waking up, Marissa Wellison is here to tell us why we might want to add a few extra minutes to the morning routine to scrape off the car windows. Good morning, Marissa.
Good morning. Yes, you'll need some extra time to actually get into your car, prepare your car to get on the roadways, and then you'll also need that extra time on the actual roadways as we are looking at some areas of black ice across all of southeast Wisconsin. We did have some drizzle yesterday. Unfortunately, it was freezing drizzle, so it fell as rain, and then it froze on surfaces that were at or below the freezing mark, and our temperatures right now are still below freezing. Now, it does look like, as I continue to see buses and cars go through here in the Sherman Phoenix neighborhood, we are looking at wet roadways. Most of the major interstates as well as major roadways have been treated with de-icer, but don't expect that to be the case absolutely everywhere. Caution is going to be your best friend this morning. Take it slow so you don't regret potentially spinning out. 30 degrees right now in Milwaukee. It's still breezy across the area. Here through Port Washington, we are also looking at some all right conditions based on, again, major roads versus side streets versus sidewalks. Really going to have the best chance, unfortunately, for that black ice on sidewalks, staircases, neighborhood streets, bridges, as well as we are looking at some colder temperatures at long bridges. So that's usually where we see the first freeze going on. So keep that in mind. This morning, patchy black ice, allow plenty of extra time. Throughout the day today, we are going to get to some sunshine, but it's going to be windy and cold across the area. And then most of next week, we stay windy and cold, but at least will be mostly dry until about Friday. I'll have a close look at what you can expect in your 7-day forecast coming up in just a bit, Ryan.
Okay, Marissa, thank you. It is 6:02 and new this morning as the cold front moves in. Street Angels says that they will close their warming shelter tomorrow for the rest of the season. In a Facebook post overnight, the group said that the move is a response to a 20 to 30% rise in COVID cases at the shelter just over the past week. Last month, Street Angels had to close for 10 days due to COVID infections and exposure among staff. The group had recently reduced capacity to just 17 people, giving each person an N95 mask to wear at all times. And with Omicron cases spreading fast, businesses are slashing hours and cutting back on services as more and more workers are calling out sick. Some are even fully shutting down, and it's expected to get worse in the days ahead. Gotti Schwartz has more on this.
Shuttered storefronts and closed signs as the great national sickout spreads across the nation. Omicron now tightening its grip on workers as businesses struggle to keep doors open. A new estimate says more than 5 million Americans could be isolating at home over the coming days, meaning even stores like Apple, Walmart, Starbucks, and Walgreens have been forced to temporarily close some locations or shorten hours.
There's been a high level of stress in the system because of staffing shortages. We've had to reduce operating hours in some locations.
FedEx also warning customers of delays, but while large businesses are able to adapt, some small ones are barely hanging on.
If you think about the 30 million small businesses in the U.S., 90% of them have fewer than 20 employees, 80% of them have fewer than 10.
Meaning if just one person gets sick, the entire operation could be crippled.
We have the business, we don't have the staff. And so that's really frustrating. And there's new clients who want to come in that we have to turn away.
Long Beach, California's Bark Bark Daycare and Grooming forced to shut down its daycare operation, even both owners catching the virus.
We've never dealt with this situation. We feel completely helpless.
For bakers at Montclair Bread Company in New Jersey, the dough is finally rising, but so far not enough to meet costs.
If the bakery's not making the numbers, then my rent's late, which it's actually late this month. I haven't paid my January rent yet.
The bakery just reopened after COVID cases and exposure among the staff forced it to temporarily shut down.
We got a call that somebody on our staff tested positive for COVID, and then there was a second person, and then a third person.
But after sending out a call for help, over 20 volunteers like Marissa raised their hands to pitch in.
When this whole crazy bad dream of a pandemic is over, I want there to be great local stores still in existence. And I was like, I can volunteer. I'll even wash dishes.
Neighborhoods coming together to try to keep their local businesses afloat.
And looking ahead, the Milwaukee Public Museum is closing temporarily starting tomorrow due to staffing shortages related to the surge in cases. The museum is expected to reopen on Thursday. More details on their plans are expected later in the week. And Metcalf Markets is adjusting their store hours starting tomorrow. They're going to open at 7 in the morning, an hour later than usual. The store will be open until 9. The company says this is a reaction to supply chain and staffing challenges. As the Omicron variant spreads throughout the nation, hospitals are seeing a growing trend. People who are admitted for other ailments are testing positive for COVID-19. In Austin, Texas, some hospitals are reporting that 30 to 40% of patients admitted for other reasons are also COVID positive. Health experts say while the findings support evidence that Omicron is less likely to cause severe illness than other variants, these patients may be early in the course of disease and may be far more contagious. Let's switch gears now. Let's get over to NBC's Chuck Todd with what to expect on today's Meet the Press.
COVID case numbers continue to break daily records, topping 1 million for the first time this week. Americans are struggling to navigate this new stage of the pandemic, and many say the CDC's guidance has only added to the confusion. I'll break down the latest on the virus, the disruptions it's causing across the country, and how we can move forward with a pandemic that's looking more and more like it's here to stay as an endemic. Plus, it has been a year since the January 6th Capitol insurrection. Donald Trump's grip on the Republican Party has somehow gotten stronger. I'll talk to one of the truly handful of elected Republicans who continue to speak out against the former president's election lies. It's Congressman Adam Kinzinger of Illinois, who's also a member of the House committee investigating January 6th. It's all ahead this Sunday on Meet the Press.
And you can watch Meet the Press at 8 this morning right here on TMJ4. It is now 6:07 on this Sunday morning. Thanks for being up early with us. Still to come on TMJ4 News today, a project working to protect the environment and people experiencing homelessness. It's 6:10 on the Sunday morning. In today's headlines, the memorial for late Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid was held on Saturday. Democratic leaders from around the country gathered in Las Vegas to commemorate his life and legacy. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and President Joe Biden spoke during the event. sharing fond memories of the politician. Former President Barack Obama, who credits Reid for his rise to the White House, delivered the eulogy. Reid was 82 years old. John Thune, the number 2 Republican in the Senate, says he is running for another term. He's widely seen as the likely successor to Mitch McConnell, who's the longest serving Senate Republican leader in history. Thune has been at odds with former President Donald Trump in the past, most recently when Trump encouraged current South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem to run against Thune in the election. Thune also spoke in favor of accepting President-elect Joe Biden's victory in the 2020 election. Well, police believe a man linked with 4 murders in Virginia may now be linked to a 5th. A 40-year-old woman was found dead in a shopping cart back in September. Authorities now believe this man, 35-year-old Anthony Eugene Robinson, may be linked with her murder as well as the murders of the 4 other women. In each of the cases, a shopping cart was used to move their bodies. Police say he may have used dating apps to meet the woman. Robinson is behind bars. He was arrested back in November. The Plan Matters project in Savannah, Georgia was designed to solve 2 problems: using plastic waste to weave into mats and pillows for people who are homeless. Jessica Combs shows us where their efforts have led them.
About 10% of all plastic waste ends up in our oceans and landfills every year.
We all know plastic does not biodegrade the way paper and other things do.
With the number of individuals home insecure rising, more than 500,000 people in the U.S. are homeless.
Plan Matters was designed to solve the problem that we're having with plastic in our environment, and also people who are homeless not having a safe, secure, comfortable place to sleep on the ground.
Carol Greenberg started the Plan Matters project more than 2 years ago, teaching community members how to cut, tie, and weave plastic mats and pillows for Union Mission and other charities to give to people in need.
Well, it helps the homeless, and I think that's the most important thing.
From churches to classrooms, dozens of volunteers are finding new ways to perfect the process, even building wooden looms and forming assembly lines.
Using recycled products the way that they do, it's amazing the way those mats and pillows look, and I think it makes a difference for the people that are out in the street in the homeless camps.
Volunteers say while these problems will take time, they hope their community service will be a stepping stone towards permanent solutions.
To learn, to do, and to selflessly turn these things in for people that you'll never meet. That's a really good opportunity to engage with people in our own community that sometimes are invisible.
Up next on TMJ4 News Today, we continue to count down to the Olympics. We're going to introduce you to a Pulaski native who is on a journey to the Olympic stage in Beijing.
And this morning, based solely on the air temperature, not the wind chill, you'll just need a small cup of coffee because we're actually close to our average high temperatures for this time of year to start off the day today. The thing is, though, today is going to be opposite of what we normally see. Temperatures will continue to drop. We do have some cold conditions and gusty winds. I'll have a close look at your Sunday next.
Storm Team 4 now, and Marissa, the sunshine that we see today cannot be mistaken for warmer temps, right?
Oh, yes. It's going to be one of those days, again, where you look outside, you're like, oh my gosh, it's a beautiful day. We should go run outside. And then you open up the door and It's going to be like, wham, it's going to be cold out there. We are looking at gusty winds expected today and actually also some cold temperatures, too. Right now, our winds are about 15 to 25 miles per hour, so they are starting to pick up a bit, and that's going to pull in some colder air as we move through the next about 3 hours or so. We're really going to see our temperatures drop within that period. Wind gusts are up to about 30 miles per hour, so we are still seeing some strong winds. So when you factor in the winds, it's feeling much colder across the area, and we are going to keep these winds throughout the day today. If you notice, yes, they become a bit weaker towards this afternoon, but still looking at gusts up to about 25 miles per hour. So overall, it's going to be windy today, but we are going to see the blue skies like you see behind me. Temperatures right now are in the 20s and 30s near the lakefront. We're near 30 degrees. Inland spots are into the mid-20s. Wisconsin Dells, if you remember, just a half hour ago, they were at 14, now down to 10. Green Lake was in the 20s, now down to 18. So we're going to continue to see our temperatures drop rather quickly in the next, again, about 3 hours or so. When you factor in the winds, though, it's already feeling much colder across the area. Wind chills closer to about 20 towards the lakefront, though even some colder conditions, Port Washington and Sheboygan around about 10. Inland spots already feeling like the single digits. And so as our temperatures, the actual temperatures fall into the teens, it's going to feel more like about 0 across the area, if not not even a few degrees below zero throughout not only this morning, but even throughout the entire day. At least we're going to get to that sunshine. We do still have a couple of clouds across the area. The one bright side with the forecast again is that it's going to be nice to look at from someplace nice and warm. Mostly sunny skies this afternoon. We'll see temperatures near about 16 degrees. Technically, we've already seen our high temperature today. That was mainly after about the midnight hour, as most of us were close to 30, but temperatures will slide. We'll see cold conditions, wind gusts near 35 miles per hour this morning, 25 this afternoon. So that's going to make it feel much colder out there. As we move into tonight, we'll see some light snow flurries across the area, little to no accumulation, but it's going to be cold yet again. 3 degrees to start off your Monday. Winds out of the west 10 to 15, so wind chills tomorrow morning will be about 5 to 10 degrees below zero. We climb up to 15 in the afternoon. We do keep the breezy conditions, so it's still going to feel more like zero as we head into Monday afternoon. Temperatures will climb into Tuesday into the mid-20s, but winds pick up yet again, so expect wind chills still to be around about 5 to 10 degrees. As we move into the rest of next week, though, there comes some warmer temperatures back into the 30s, but we do have our chance for some snow. Keeping an eye on Friday's system. That's the one that could impact us, bringing us maybe some measurable snow. We'll have to wait and see, though. Ryan.
All right, a good Sunday morning to stay bundled up in bed. Thanks. We turn now to our countdown to the Winter Olympics. A Pulaski native is on a journey to the Olympic stage in Beijing. 29-year-old Deidre Irwin is competing in the biathlon trials this weekend, which will determine if she will make the Olympic team.
Coming from a very small farming community and making it to pretty much world travel, it's the coolest job ever.
29-year-old Pulaski native Deidre Irwin is a master of not one, but two opposing sports.
I just fell in love with it. It was such a unique challenge to add to Nordic skiing, the entire rifle component and precision shooting part.
Just 4 years ago, Irwin started her biathlon career and quickly made her name in the sport that combines cross-country skiing and rifle shooting. But this 2010 graduate of Pulaski High School didn't start out as a biathlete.
At 16, I was looking for some way to stay in shape during the winter for my running career, which I was definitely more focused on. And I stumbled upon the Ashwaubenon Nordic ski team.
Irwin's former high school ski coach, Scott Putman, says even at 16, Irwin immediately stood out.
It's a hard sport, and it didn't start automatically for her. But the thing that sort of set her apart is her head. She was, into it enough, hard-headed enough about it that even though she was falling down all the time, she'd just pop right back up and say, I'm okay.
Irwin says Putman always gave her the support she needed to become a professional athlete and continues to be a mentor throughout her career.
He'd bring me back to the Green Bay area and make sure I kind of kept my roots there and worked with the high school ski team and really mentored them the way he mentored me.
I have athletes that just idolize her. And it was so much fun to work with her because she'd come to practice and it's just like, okay, Deidre, make them better. And she'd just go to work.
Putman says it's that determination that will propel Irwin to her dream of representing her country on the Olympic stage. Irwin says it's the voice of her father that keeps her grounded and will use his words to draw strength at the Olympic trials.
One of the, I think, best quotes when I'm kind of getting nervous and stuff, or voices I have in my head, is my dad just saying we only expect your best on that day, whatever your best is on that day. So it's been nice because I know I've never been expected to be the best from them, but as long as I give everything I have on that day.
In Green Bay, Nina Sperano, TMJ4.
Well, still ahead on TMJ4 News today, a group of ice fishers got stuck on the ice near Green Bay this weekend. We'll tell you how many were rescued and what authorities think went wrong coming up. 6:25, time for trending today. Dozens of people were stranded off the coast of Green Bay Saturday morning after the ice that they were standing on separated from the shoreline.
Oh my gosh, that sounds terrifying. Well, emergency responders say the ice flow drifted about 2,000 feet into Lake Michigan. Officials think a barge moving through the area on Friday may have weakened the ice. Officials originally thought there were 27 people out on the ice, then bumped that up to 34. A reminder to everyone to stay safe and be aware. Things may not be completely frozen yet out there. That is terrifying.
I know that's a thing,
Oh
and
my
typically
God.
it's a safe thing to do, but you're not going to catch me doing that.
No, I won't be doing that either.
Yeah, makes me nervous.
Oh my goodness.
Right, and to an update now on the James Webb Space Telescope NASA launched on Christmas Day. Remember this? Well, it's now done unfolding itself in preparation for its science operations, which are expected to begin this summer. When it's fully deployed, the primary mirror on the telescope will stretch 21 feet across, and it still has about 2 weeks of travel ahead of it before it reaches its orbit about 1 million miles from Earth, where it will eventually begin to study some of the universe's first stars and galaxies. Certainly a reminder of just how big the universe is. It's still going.
It's crazy. And I really just wanted to say there, took long enough for it to unfold. But really, though, I mean, all of those steps have been planned out for years.
Yeah.
We're talking even almost 2 decades. They've planned out this entire telescope. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
What they've done.
The fact that it's still going to be traveling for a couple more weeks.
My goodness.
It's just, yeah, it's far out there. All right, we still have a lot to get to here on TMJ4 News today, including a conversation with a local health expert on rising COVID cases in the state. His take on the merits of another mask mandate in Milwaukee and a breakdown of the latest CDC guidance. You don't want to miss that live conversation coming up. First, though, let's take a live look outside. Meteorologist Marissa Wallison is sticking around with another look at your Sunday forecast right after this break. Good morning. Now at 6:30, the local changes that local churches are making to keep their congregations safe amid the surge in COVID cases, plus the move the Wisconsin Council of Churches is urging its members to make. Plus, Dominic Black, the man who bought Kyle Rittenhouse the gun used during the 2020 unrest in Kenosha, is expected to take a plea deal. What we know about that deal ahead of tomorrow's court hearing. And taking a live look across our area, you could run into some black ice out on the roads this morning. Meteorologist Marissa Wallison tracking any impacts of overnight freezing drizzle in your Storm Team forecast.
All the information you need to start your morning. This is TMJ4 News Today.
You made it to Sunday, and we're so glad you are with us here on TMJ4 News Today. I'm Ryan Jenkins, and we want to bring in meteorologist Marissa Wallison right away, who's tracking a bit of an icy start to the day. Good morning, Marissa.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, everyone. Yes, we are looking at, unfortunately, some ice and black ice across the area, not because we're looking at any snow or rain or drizzle falling right now, but because of what fell late yesterday afternoon all the way through the early morning hours. We did pick up some freezing drizzle, so it's created a thin layer of ice on untreated surfaces. Right now, though, again, we aren't looking at anything actually falling from the sky, but I want you to be very cautious as you're heading out onto the roadways. This is a live look over Waukesha right now. This roadway is most likely just wet, so of course you can kind of see the shininess here, and as that car is going through, it looks like it's navigating just fine, but mainly we are looking at bigger concerns for areas that are likely to freeze, so side streets, bridges, sidewalks, also a big concern, those secondary roads most likely to be impacted by the areas of ice and black ice. So take it slow this morning. Be cautious, allow extra time, and don't forget, you're probably going to have to scrape off your windshield too, because that ice did not just form on the roadways, it also formed on your car. As you take a look at temperatures this morning, close to the lakefront, we're still holding close to 30, but inland spots are now closer to 20, and temperatures will continue to fall in about the next 2 hours. I'll have a close look at your Sunday ahead coming up in just a bit, Ryan.
All right, Marissa, thank you. It is 6:32, and I know some of you may be waking up, getting ready for church this morning. Well, you may want to check in with your church before you head out the door this morning, because the Wisconsin Council of Churches is advising its more than 2,000 members to switch to virtual services for the next 4 to 6 weeks. At least one church in our area, Faith Presbyterian in Franklin, is following that recommendation today.
It's an important step to take, and to take now, before things get really bad and a bunch of people wind up in the hospital.
We felt that it was important to take that step now as we watch the virus spread and the positivity rate increase.
The Archdiocese of Milwaukee has not recommended virtual services, but says it is recommending areas for social distancing and masks. And the Oak Creek Assembly of God, one of the largest congregations in our area, has staggered seating and more worship services to allow for more distancing. It also offers sections where masks are required. Meanwhile, Milwaukee is now handing out free N95 respirators to help slow the spread of the Omicron variant. The health department received 500,000 masks from the state. According to the FDA, an N95 fits closely to the face and provides a higher level of protection than loosely fitting cloth or surgical masks. Weekly cases of COVID-19 have more than doubled to 7,600 compared to this time last month. And at 6:33 on this Sunday morning, to help us better understand the surge in cases and all of the conversation around the best ways to protect ourselves against the coronavirus, I am now joined by Dr. Jeff Potoff with UW Health. Dr. Potoff, thanks so much for waking up early with us.
Good morning.
You know, the city of Milwaukee's Common Council is considering re-implementing a mask mandate. And as we just mentioned, the city's now providing free N95 masks to residents. So I want to ask you, in your professional opinion, what would be the impact of another mask mandate right now? And is it really worth bringing back?
So what we know definitively is that mask mandates, or more people wearing masks, slows the transmission of COVID-19. And what that might do is decrease the rate of hospitalizations to local hospitals who are overwhelmed and really unable to take additional patients. So that could help us create enough breathing room in hospitals where other patients with, say, heart disease, neurological emergencies, cancer, could get their care when they need it.
Understood. And we also know that some elected officials here in Milwaukee also want to see at-home test kits provided by the city. It also sounds like the Biden administration is working to set up a program to mail at-home test kits to American families. So what's the deal? Because we've heard that maybe these at-home test kits are not as effective. So can the results of these at-home tests be trusted?
You know, I think perfect can be the enemy of good. And it's true that these PCR tests do a little bit better job as far as detecting COVID-19. But these at-home test kits, especially if used in people who have symptoms, perform pretty well. And there's a lot of folks who are wondering before they go to an event, maybe visit family, am I positive? Am I not? Others who find the long lines for testing just a little bit too bothersome. If they could do home tests, that could let people know that they are positive, and they'd likely make different decisions about going out into public if they knew the result of that test.
And we also know conversations about COVID are once again dominating school board meetings all across our area. There's talks about requiring masks in the classroom, talks about virtual or remote learning as opposed to in-person learning. Is it safe for kids to be in school right now? What should parents consider about the surge in cases?
You know, I think you can make schools safe, but it takes a lot of work. The first thing that has to be there is a mask mandate that's enforced. If our kids are unmasked in school in close proximity with Omicron and how contagious it is, not only will a lot of those kids get sick, but their teachers and the other professionals helping keep the schools open are likely to come down with COVID, and you'll have difficulty keeping that school open just because you have no staff. Otherwise, you want to, mind that distance a bit, try to keep those kids a little bit separated, and really encourage vaccination amongst those school-age kids. We know that that significantly decreases the rate of transfer of this disease. So you can have school in person, but it takes some work.
Dr. Potoff with UW Health is here live with us. And I also want to ask you, there seems to be a bit of confusion around some of the guidance from the CDC regarding isolations and quarantines. First, it was 10 days, then it was cut to 5 days. And now there's talks about a need for masks or a negative test after those 5 days. Can you break down that guidance from your perspective? What is the CDC saying families here in Wisconsin should be doing if they test positive for COVID?
Yeah, I agree. I think the guidance has been a little bit confusing. My guidance is that if you have COVID-19 and you still have any symptoms, you don't come out of quarantine till at least day 10. If you have no symptoms whatsoever, you're completely asymptomatic. At day 5, I suggest you take a rapid antigen test. If that test is positive, isolate till day 10. If that test is negative, then it's okay to go back in public, but you have to wear your mask all the time until day 10.
All right, Dr. Potoff with UW Health, thank you so much for waking up early with us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more TMJ4 News Today right after this.
6:40 on this Sunday morning. A live look over Milwaukee. We're starting to get more of a blue hue to the sky as the sunrise is just about a half hour away. We're probably not going to see that great of a sunrise just due to the fact that we do still have quite a few clouds across the area. So it's going to go from this navy blue to a lighter blue, but maybe some peeks of the sun. It's cold this morning. We are looking at cold enough temperatures to keep some of the ice around. Again, we did have some freezing drizzle last night, and that has led to some areas of ice and black ice on the road. roadways. If you're wondering the difference, usually ice, you can see it kind of like behind me or here on the windshield of the car, or you're looking at black ice where you really can't see it because it's clear, and more often than not, the roads are black in color. So again, that's why it's called black ice. You're probably gonna have to scrape off your windshield. It may take about 2 to 3 minutes, so we'll